Hello buddies, this is Game Night. Welcome to this Necromunda Underhive Wars tutorial. This video will be covering the combat mechanics. The first thing you will see is a deployment. You will have to place your gangers on the map. Pay attention to where the mission objectives are and always place your gangers together. Initiative doesn't matter here at all. Once the mission starts, initiative does matter. Each player gets to activate one ganger at a time. The one with the highest initiative goes first in that turn. In the first round, I suggest activating the lowest initiative ganger. This way, you will be able to act on your enemy's movement. The round after, you'll be able to pick again. Sometimes it's better to activate your gangers based on their map placement rather than on their initiative. This will take some getting used to, as it is very different from other games, but it provides a great tactical layer. Up to 4 gangers can be in the initiative ladder each turn, depending on how many gangs you are up against. In the middle of the screen, you can see the initiative ladder. Here you can see the currently active gangers, their class, rank, and initiative, of course. On the right side, you can see the current floor your chosen ganger is on. This is especially useful when you need to activate elevators. And on the left of the ladder, you have the current round. This is good to keep an eye on, so you know when the time to gather objectives is about to run out. At the bottom left, you have your ganger's stats. At the top of this, you can see how many buffs and or debuffs your ganger currently has. To see details of them, hit the Shift key and scroll with the Alt key. Here you can also see the substats of your gangers. If you turn your crosshair towards an enemy or even friendly gangers, you can check their debuffs and buffs and substats while Shift is pressed. Below that is the name of the ganger as well as their health bar. As a ganger takes damage, the health bar will slowly turn red. Just above the health numbers, you see 2 orange icons. The left one indicates how many enemies you can currently see within your line of sight, and the right one indicates how many of the enemies are currently within range of your equipped weapon. To the left of the health bar, you have the class icon, rank, and initiative value. Below the health bar, you have 2 extra bars. The red one is your AP or action points. These points are used for everything that requires an action: looting, kneeling, shooting, striking, using skills, throwing, consuming, jumping, and using zip lines, and even calling elevators. MP or movement points are used for, well, just that, movement. But they can also be used for tactical abilities like Entrenched, that allows you to regain AP, or Disengage, that allows you to get out of melee combat. When moving around the map using your MP, it is also a bit different from other games you might have played. Moving takes 1 MP for each meter moved, but the MP isn't consumed until you're either shot at, hit a trap, or take an action yourself. This means you can move around the map to scout until you hit the maximum range, which is indicated by an orange line. Then you can return to your original point without spending a single MP. Just be aware that in most PvP matches, there will most likely be a timer, so you can't spend too much time dallying about. Then we move to the bottom middle. You can see the offensive, tactical, inventory, and end turn menus. As we covered before, the offensive and tactical contains all your abilities. If you have a ranged weapon, you will have a shoot ability and an overwatch ability. When mousing over an enemy with your crosshair, you can left click to enter into the shooting ability if you are within range. Alternatively, you can choose the ability from the menu and scroll through valid targets with Q and E. This will also show you any destructibles that you can target. Left clicking again will shoot the weapon. If an enemy is wearing armor, the aimed shot ability, only available to ranged weapons, can be useful to try to deal maximum damage. This is done by bypassing specific armor parts that are difficult to harm with the equipped weapon. Using the ability will bring up the user interface that shows each arm, leg, body, and head, as well as the attached armor resistances. You find the vulnerable area and shoot. If you choose Overwatch, you can see the range of coverage. If an enemy moves within that range, the ganger will shoot. Even after choosing Overwatch, you can still take actions, like kneeling or other things until you are ready. Then you end turn. If you have a melee weapon equipped, you will have the strike ability. This will only be available for use if you are right next to an enemy. Again, you can also mouse over an enemy with your crosshair and left click to initiate strikes. It tells you at the top what your hit chance is per shot or strike, as well as the damage type, and how many shots will be fired. On the right side, you can see what the odds of a grazing hit, which will reduce the damage dealt, or critical hits, which increases the damage dealt. Moving to the top left corner, you will see the mission objectives. This was the objective that was displayed when you chose the mission. If the mission has a limited time, you can see how many rounds are remaining, as well as how many of the resources in the map have been gathered. All resources can be seen from the overhead map, marked with orange crates. The green ones are loot boxes. Going for the resources is very important, but sometimes you might want to wait until you have reduced the power of the other gang. One issue with gathering missions is that you will need to carry the crates to obtain them. You do not have to extract with these crates, but you will have to be carrying it when the mission ends. You can carry 2 crates at a time on any ganger, and they will take up your hand slots and reduce your initiative by 25 for each crate you are carrying because of the heavy load. This means that you can't use two-handed weapons once you pick one up, so make sure you always have a backup weapon. Only carry 1 crate if you have to, unless you intend to run away. That way you can still singe your enemies while having a crate secured. Sometimes the AI will go for crates rather than fighting, resulting in a very easy target. Moving to the bottom right corner. Here you can see what you have equipped, and you can also see the status of the currently equipped weapon of the ganger. Tier on the left side of the weapon icon and number of shots remaining to the right. You can also see the damage type icon. If a weapon is used too much, it may jam as indicated by the wrench below. Once the bar fills up, the weapon will jam and you will need to use the tactical ability Field Repair to use it again. The inventory can be accessed by pressing I. Here you can see the ganger's equipment on the left side, as well as the contents of his or her backpack. Clicking an item will show the middle window, showing you the stats of the weapon or item currently marked. The top left icon in this window, in this case an eye, indicates the quality of the item. This is a rank 1 item. The description tells you what the item name is and how many credits it's worth. The middle shows you how much AP it takes to use, as well as the initiative penalty, if any, the ganger takes by having it equipped. At the bottom, you can see if it's a one or two-handed item. To the right side, you can see the special stats that affects the ganger with this weapon equipped. In this case, the precision is lower, but you have a higher crit, stun, and armor penetration chance. It will also indicate at the bottom if the item is limited to a certain class. Hitting F will put the item in your backpack, and hitting Q will drop it on the ground. On the far right side, you can see the weapon and armor summary. If you click another item, you can hold down Control to compare the equipped item with the item in the backpack or loot screen. This way you can quickly identify if you want to switch the weapon out. If you manage to defeat the enemy gang before the timer runs out on some of these missions, or if there is no timer, just when you have defeated them, you get an extra round to secure as much loot as possible. I hope you liked this video. If you did, remember to hit the like button and subscribe for more Necromunda Underhive Wars videos. I hope you have a wonderful game night.